dream stands. As we all know, these lot are some of the most confusing, most bizarre creatures to ever bless the face of the earth. They worship the poorly drawn Minecraft YouTuber known as Dream and pretty much take his word as gospel. Over the past couple of months, I've been digging into the minds of dream stands to try to get an understanding of what happens in them. A few months ago, I infiltrated dream stand Discord servers, and around a week ago, I infiltrated dream stand Twitter. But I think it's time for me to take my brilliant infiltration skills and my sheer mastery of disguise to a place that could easily become a lot more volatile. You see, I have this burning question that's been with me ever since the first thought of infiltration popped into my mind all of those months ago. What happens if you take a dream stan and put them in the dark place known as Reddit? All jokes aside for a moment, we all obviously know what Reddit is, so I'm not going to sit here and waffle on for hours about what it is. If you somehow don't know, Reddit, and I know this is going to make me sound like a boomer, is pretty much an image board. Now, I said this in my previous video, but I'm going to say it again here. When it comes to public platforms, I don't censor any usernames, mainly because the posts on these platforms, they've been posted publicly. Keeping all of that in mind though, please don't go out of your way to make fun of any people shown in this video, no matter how weird some of these posts are. With all that being said though, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you want to see some more, and if you want, follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. Now, as we all know, dream stands, they're quite prevalent online, be it on YouTube, Twitter, I mean even on TikTok. The thing is though, when we all think of dream stands, I think it's pretty safe to assume that we think of them being primarily on Twitter, mainly because that seems to be the place where they're most vocal. That, and since they are most vocal on Twitter, when somebody makes a video about dream stands, it often involves what they've done on Twitter, enforcing the whole when you think of dream stands you think of Twitter thing. Reddit though, it never really comes into the equation at all. If you search up dream stand Reddit on YouTube, the place where 99% of dream stand videos are made, you won't really find anything because, as I said a few seconds ago, most of these dream stand videos, they're about stuff that happened on Twitter. Going off my script for a few seconds here, when I think of dream stands in Reddit or dream in Reddit as a whole, I can only really think about the John Swan stuff from a few months ago. Other than that though, my mind is pulling blanks here. You see, this is the thought process behind that burning question I mentioned in the intro of this video. What actually happens on dream stand Reddit? That's the reasoning behind this infiltration. I want to see what happens on that side of the internet, a side of the dream stand community that hasn't really been spoken about at all. As I'm sure you know by now, when it comes to infiltration, you have to disguise yourself. You have to blend into a community, almost as if you've been there all along. Now, I'm not one to brag, but I am indeed a master of disguise and illusion, and drawing pictures a dream actually, though I'm not going to be using that skill set today. Now, of course, to infiltrate dream stand Reddit, I had to don one of my brilliant disguises again, in order to blend in with the crowd, allowing me to observe what manner of thing happens in those mysterious subreddits. Thankfully, in my previous video, I scoured the internet, looking into what makes a dream stan, meaning that I have that knowledge tucked away nicely in my brain somewhere, never being able to escape. No matter how much I know how to make the perfect dream stand disguise. In order to blend into dream stand Reddit, I had to create this. The dark, Goob, the darker, more edgy version of my Gooby persona from my dream Twitter infiltration video. This disguise, it allows me to accomplish the monumentous task of blending into Dreamstand Reddit, as well as adding to the already established lore behind my brilliant Gooby character, which is my original character, so you're not allowed to steal. As I said earlier, the point of this infiltration was to see if Dreamstand Reddit is as bad as Dreamstand Twitter. So, of course, in order to see if this was the case, I had to become a passive observer once again. The first place I decided to have a look at was the Dream Was Taken subreddit, the largest Dreamstand subreddit on Reddit, a subreddit that consists of 205,000 people. Now, going into this subreddit, I didn't really know what to expect, because besides the fact that I don't really know how Reddit works because I barely use it, Reddit, it does have a fairly bad stigma attached to it now, doesn't it? It's known for being a little bit weird. Putting this hesitation behind me though, I ventured onwards into the unknown. In my Twitter infiltration video, I mentioned how there are very different versions of Dreamstands. You have the passive audience member, who isn't really a Dreamstan and more of just a fan, the common Dreamstan, the most prevalent Dreamstan that fuels the Dreamstan Twitter hive mind, and then you get the worst of the worst, literally the living stigma. This subreddit though, I reckon it's filled with mostly passive audience members, because even though some of it, yeah, it's a little bit cringy, it's nothing really obsessive or anything along those lines. There's actually quite a lot of different content on here. You get the normal Dreamstand stuff, such as fan art, fan videos, people saying how much they love Dream and how much of a wonderful person he is. But then, you get stuff, well, stuff like this. If we go into the rules section of this subreddit, we can actually see some quite good things. The main thing being the rule against NSFW content, something that seems to plague the Dreamstand community. This rule declares that all posts have to be PG-13, which is a really good thing actually. You know, this subreddit isn't actually half bad, rather surprisingly. I was expecting a lot worse if I'm being honest. Moving on from this, I had a look at the r/DreamSMP subreddit, another very large subreddit. This subreddit, it's a bit more dream loving and a bit less memey compared to r/Dream Was Taken, but once again, the rules are pretty good on this subreddit. No NSFW, no bullying, things that are good and made to make sure that nothing devolves into absolute chaos. The one thing I have been noticing with these subreddits though, is that the top posts on each of these subreddits, they all consist of things that have been posted on the day that I'm recording this video. This post is at the top of r/Dream Was Taken, and this one is at the top of r/DreamSMP. Now, there isn't anything wrong or disturbing about these photos. I just find it kinda weird that the top posts of these subreddits that have hundreds of thousands of members, they don't really have that many likes or upvotes, if I want to talk like a Reddit mod. After this, I had a look at r/Dream Minecraft, a much smaller subreddit. Once again, no NSFW or harassment allowed. I had a look at another subreddit, r/Dream Was Taken too. And even though this subreddit is a little bit weirder than all of the others, mainly because discussion about real-world events is fairly prevalent, once again, no NSFW to be seen. Some of the posts on r/Dream Was Taken too, they're even about the weirdest stands who take things too far and how this is not a good thing. They even have a full-on section of the subreddit called Stan Shenanigans dedicated to this stuff. All in all then, it seems like Dreamstand Twitter, it seems like that is much worse than Dreamstand Reddit, which was, in all honesty, a massive shock to me. Mainly because I thought Dreamstand Reddit, I thought it was gonna be much worse. Dreamstand Reddit is filled with mostly passive audience members, people who just like to watch Dream for his content and nothing more. They are exactly as the name implies, passive. Dreamstand Reddit is a lot less bad than Dreamstand Twitter. Now, yes, it is cringy and all of that type of stuff, but it's not like the people in there trying to cancel other people 24/7, making really weird fan art or role-playing in super weird ways. It seems like that behavior, it may actually be frowned upon in those subreddits. With all that being said though, I mean, what do you guys think of Dreamstand Reddit and Dreamstands as a whole? Is Dreamstand Reddit worse than Twitter, or is Twitter worse than Reddit? Be sure to let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.